Too many journalists scaring you. Too many pencils attempting to rewrite the Constitution. They probably gonna tear it up. I love the country, but I don't trust the people taking care of us. We went to bed with the American dream. We woke up in Nightmerica.
We went to bed with the American dream and we woke up in Nightmerica. Tom MacDonald has a way of cutting down the double standard and the man-made narrative of today. He's doing it again. So guys, what do we have in the chat room here? Propaganda video now. Okay, let's do it, Devon. Propaganda video is ready to go. Let's get to the heart of the message.
Hey, Derek. You good, bro? You ain't picking up calls, dog. What's wrong, man? Daryl, you good? Hey.
So, it looks as though Dax is coming to look for a friend of his. Knocking at the door, but he's not getting an answer. Seems very concerned about what's going on. That's my reaction to this.
Hey, Derek.
The door. The door was left open, but when he came in, this man is sitting in his chair watching television. He looks like he's hypnotized by whatever information is being programmed into him. And Dax looks very concerned again. Huh. You notice this? He's trying to kind of get this man's attention, but he is totally disconnected from reality because what this man is concerned about is what is being fed into him by the video. I remember watching a Batman movie that has this concept. It's an old Batman movie with this green looking question. If you guys know, there was this question mark kind of thing that this dude had. It was what's his name? The guy who did The Mask. Oh my goodness. You guys will know better than I do. I'm not so big on movies and actors anymore. So anyway, if you guys know, just chop it, put it in the chat room. But anyway, it seems like the concept was there as well, by kind of like this concept of downloading certain programs into the minds of the masses through the television and so on. And they were hooked and hypnotized. And they were beginning to think certain way. So let's hear some more.
And all I see is propaganda.
So the scene is different. So instead of TVs, now Jim Carrey. Thank you guys. Thank you, Angel. Jim Carrey. That's the one. Jim Carrey, and yeah, in the Batman movie. Yeah, very, very interesting one. But now the scene has changed. Did you guys notice that he moved from this man's apartment? He is now in a restaurant. But the the problem seems to be the same, right? The people are just as hypnotized as this man was in his apartment. Wow. So according to Dax and Tom, this concept of propaganda is being installed into the mind of the masses. One of the most effective means is our cell phones. Okay.
Yeah, united we stand, divided we fall. New Year's Eve, they've been dropping the ball. Independent, how we dead in the game. We don't write to the sound of applause. Hidden truth, dotted lines, ain't never signed, stood and remain the boss. In a world that is full of facades, where if you speak, you get nailed to a cross. I won't be silent, I am outspoken. I am the product of pain, so when you see my name, no fame could never break down a brain that is already broken. Every wound is a paid devotion. They fill words as I purge emotions. Scabs tear as I drop hits that bleed light from demonic omens. The system decides we spend, we buy, while most of our time is spent in bed. The dreams we have all stay inside. We sleep and wake and live with regret. The price of life is half the cost. The price of fame could cost your head. If infamy is what you seek, and propaganda is all I see is propaganda. Propaganda. And all I see.
Yeah. Emily Buck. I live better under Donald Trump. We are headed for the worst gas and oil prices than we did under Obama. Over $4 a gallon here now. Thank God I burn wool too for heat and not just oil. Emily, I think we're in trouble. And that's what people need to realize that. So, all right, getting back to that. Here's the thing. I can definitely understand where you're coming from, Emily. Yeah. The 1% pays 40%. Yeah. The problem is the crooked politician that got rich being politicians. Yep. Angel, try to look at these entire works. There's so much more than just tax loopholes for the rich that have an effect on our country. He was a beast on so many issues. Most everyone benefits. Dollars. That's about right. Okay. In Spanish, the word propaganda means what? Announcement, like an advertisement. That's a good point. Yeah, the word propaganda, from what I've heard, in its inception means to spread, to share, right? So an announcement, in essence, it has lost its definition because of the way it has a new definition because of the way he's been used in the past. Certainly. So going back to our video here. Yeah. With the war in Ukraine right now and Russia, what that means for you and I is higher gas prices. These are two countries that are almost, Ukraine is called the breadbasket of Europe. And Russia is called the gas station of the world. So what you have are two nations that are at war, who are highly responsible for the economic of the world, the food of the world, the natural resources of the world. They have a large share of those natural resources. This will impact every single one of us. We're going to see gas prices growing into the roof. If it was just gas prices, it would be okay. No, your bread is going to be more expensive. Your food item, because once gas prices goes through the roof, the containers, the ships, the tractor trailers who have to carry these things have to pay more gas. So therefore they have to charge these companies extra to carry them. So these companies have to raise their price on their products in order to get more money. So guess who's going to pay for it at the end of the day, guys? We are. Yeah. Here we are. Okay, Dax. Propaganda. News you can trust. That's interesting.
They convince us all that everything we say is racist.
That's amazing. Before we hear some more of Tom MacDonald's content, Sarah, you said something here that I wanted to highlight. You said Biden makes no sense. Buy oil elsewhere versus produce our own. He doesn't seem to have our best interests at heart. That is a problem. And these were some of the things that Donald Trump did do. making it somewhat, these resources were coming from home, right? Oil, gas coming from home. And these pipelines have been shut down by Biden. Part of the reason for it, in my research and study the climate change and concept and the Green New Deal, it has been these means or destroying our planets, right? We want to go greener. We want to save the planet. So they begin to close these these natural resources that we had for the purpose of saving the planet. My question is, how well are we doing so far saving the planet? And my second question is, if you plan on doing that, at least take care of home. That's what I will think. But again, so much more could be said. But there's a lot of confusion about what is happening here. So I'll leave it as that for now. But I think there are many powers, some certain elites, they love to see the economy choked so that whatever plans they have, they can install that. I see this lined up in what is known as the New World Order concept, the mark of the beast concept. All of that is in the Bible, by the way, guys. Is that the stage is being set. We are just coming out of a pandemic, slowly coming out of that after 2 years of constant pressure. Now they're saying you can take off your mask in many places, and we are getting a sigh of relief. And as soon as that happens, a war broke out in Ukraine. It's almost like I'm beginning to realize certain people have these plans laid out years in advance, and knowing which button to push to carry out certain action to get a reaction, and then to introduce to their own solution to that. It's like there's so much of a plan here. And when you have a biblical perspective, you can see this from the Bible, but you can see it being played out in the world as well. I have no doubt, no fear that God is in charge, no matter what you guys are seeing. But at the same time, I'm not going to be blindsided to the fact there's a lot of corruption, even in what's happening in Ukraine right now. I'll leave it as that.
Updated, indoctrinated. They convince us all that everything we say is racist, and blood will change it. That's what happens. Y'all need balance. Y'all need blacks and whites and lefts and rights to stop the madness. They planned it. It's Trump or Biden, we all been divided by it in the streets. Elections always been rigged. I ain't surprised when somebody cheats. All I see is pentagrams and the propaganda, but our priority's the vaccine. It ain't hard for wolves to find a flock when the sheep are fast asleep. Too many people lack character. Too many journalists scaring you. Too many pencils attempting to rewrite the Constitution. They probably gonna tear it up. I love the country, but I don't trust the people taking care of us. We went to bed with the American dream. We woke up in Nightmerica.
We went to bed with the American dream and we woke up in Nightmerica. Tom MacDonald has a way of cutting down the double standard and the man-made narrative of today. He's doing it again.
But I don't trust the people taking care of us. We went to bed with the American dream. We woke up in Nightmerica.
And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda. And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda. And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda. And all I see is propaganda.
I'll tell you, this was amazing. Propaganda by Tom MacDonald. Fire. 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 Yeah. But here is the thing. I want you to watch this, guys. Did you know the apostles, after Jesus went back to heaven, God had given them the Holy Spirit. So with that came severe persecution from Rome, from the Pharisees, because they were talking about Jesus. Look what it says. And it says, "Did not we strictly command you that we should not teach in his name?" They were in court, facing the councils, and they were told, "Didn't we tell you to stop talking that truth? Stop talking about this Jesus? Quiet." Listen to this. It says, "You have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine and intended to bring this man blood upon us." That's what they charged them with. Now, guys, listen to what the apostle says. Peter, the one who was hung upside down, by the way, guys, he said this. "Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, 'We ought to obey God rather than men.'" Did you guys hear it? We ought to obey God rather than men. When the words of men conflict the words of God, we choose God. This is why I started this video with high res, God over the government. Such a powerful song, and that was intentional, by the way. If I could play it in the background for use. This is what we need to be doing more. Obey your conviction. Obey his word. Obey the Lord's law. Men will try to scare you, confuse you, and push you back. Obey God rather than men.
They want you locked in your home without God and alone. Don't want you looking up Dr. Sebi and Robert Malone. The truth blocked on your phones. They call the shots from their throne. These politicians and these doctors, they are not in control. Jimmy, uncover the face that the Lord created so it can be seen. Tired of the fake trending all over the place. We just want to be free. There's no fear with faith is praising till we're hiding underneath all the passive threats and trauma that came from this tyranny. We won't bow down to the golden cow and do as it pleases. We don't care what they say, it's God over.
I got one more passage to share here, guys. One more passage to share. Listen carefully. When the apostles were being persecuted, they chose to obey God instead of men. But there was another time they were told to stop talking again about the person of truth, which was Jesus Christ. Listen to what they did. It says, they were praying. You know what they pray for? This is what they pray for. "And now, Lord, behold their threatenings." Behold their threatening. These are the threats they're making against us. This is what they pray for. "Grant unto thy servant that with all boldness that we may speak thy word." Powerful. It says, these guys prayed not for God to just take away whatever it is that they were being troubled with. They prayed for boldness. Guys, we're going to need boldness in these days. If you plan on making it in these final days, guys, you're gonna need boldness. If you plan on standing for what you believe, you're gonna have to be bold. But remember that boldness comes from a relationship with Christ. It comes from believing in the word of God. We're gonna need boldness. We're gonna need boldness. Pray for that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yes, we do have the book of Revelation by Dax coming up as well. I'm hoping this week. Hey, Mommy Do, thank you for joining us here today. I'm hoping in a week or so, I'm hoping by Friday my wife she'll join us in a live stream, so we have a really good discussion. We have something called the Spirit Men. And the idea is how each generation there are certain events that takes place in their order. We're going to talk about that. It's a very interesting discussion. Yeah, I have a couple reaction coming up this week. Reaction to Dax, the book of Revelation certainly is coming up. Child of God by Dax, I'm going to react to that as well. And Tom MacDonald's new video, I'm going to react to that one as well. So we have some reactions coming up. Just look out for those. They're coming up this week. You might see them coming posted tonight. We might see one posted tonight, another one tomorrow, and another one on Monday. So